What is going on, you guys? My name is Jersey-O or Jay, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my favorite facility mods in State of Decay 2. Keep in mind, everything is subjective. Just because I show you the ones that I personally feel are the best, I still know people who love mods that increase their resource storage. And speaking of this, spoiler alert, those type of mods definitely didn't make the list. I say it all the time, just use your trunk to store resources. Because you're bound to either have one of your community members accidentally spill some fuel, or some of your meds might go bad, and that's just too much. So with that being said, here are my 10 personal favorite facility mods in no particular order. Starting off with number 1, we have the Network Signal Booster, which can be obtained from Mysterious Wonder and traders. I've been using this mod since the game first released, and I can honestly say it definitely comes in handy. This is installed into a command center tier 2 or higher. Once installed, from here you'll get 2 extra outpost slots. So for the people that would always ask me, how do I have 6 outposts, a command center 3 with this mod installed? And actually there's a way to have even more, but that would require a certain red talon soldier, and since we're talking about mods, I won't go too far into that. But if you can get your hands on the signal booster, there's also the signal antenna, which is pretty much the same thing, except you get one less outpost slot with this one. So definitely keep your eye out for both of these. Moving on, we have the Rifle Ammo Press, another mod that can be obtained off a trader and also found inside ammo stores. Now, I only say Rifle Ammo Press because I'm a 5.56.762 guy, but there's also other ones like 12 gauge ammo press, Magnum, etc. So it really comes down to personal preference. Keep in mind though, crafting bullets won't be free, and depending on which zone you're in will determine how much of your ammo resources it'll cost. Let me know down below, what is your favorite ammo press? Is it the shotgun? Is it the 5.56.762? Is it the Magnum, etc.? Let me know below. Next up, we have the CNC Mill, and if you're in Nightmare Zone, this is a must-have. As long as you have power, with this mod, you're able to convert material into parts, and this is definitely more effective than doing it at your storage facility, even with the craftsmanship bonus. So I definitely recommend it, and actually I used to keep this and my ammo press in rotation at my workshop. So whenever I would be low on ammo, I'll throw in my ammo press, craft up some bullets, then I'll swap that out for my CNC mill whenever I get low on parts, and I just kept this cycle going. And like I mentioned earlier, in Nightmare Zone, you need a lot of parts for everything. If you can't get your hands on this mod, there's also the Salvage Furnace, and with this, you'll get an increase on parts from the weapons you salvage in your supply locker. But keep in mind, there's a daily fuel cost for the Salvage Furnace, so if you know you're not going to use it that much, I wouldn't recommend keeping it installed because that would just be a waste of fuel, but that's a great alternative. Moving on, we have the Compost Bin, another mod I've been using since release, and I really love this, especially because I live at smaller bases. I can only afford like one Garden 3 or hydroponics, etc. But with the Compost Bin installed, I spend one of my food resources to get 100% boost on food production per day. The downside is you're going to have to come back every day to reactivate it, so it's best to try to get on some type of schedule to remind yourself and build up some of that muscle memory, or you can try an alternative, which is a bag of fertilizer mod. It works the same way. You install it into a garden, hydroponics, or farm, but the good news is there's no resource cost and you don't have to come back every day to reactivate it. Sadly, it only gives you a plus 50% food yield per day, opposed to the Compost Bin giving you 100%. But overall, it really comes down to what your setup's looking like for you to make the most out of these mods. And I can go in depth explaining both of these, but that would just take too long. But just know, these are the best two when it comes to food production. Coming in next, we have the White Noise Machine. This is installed into a sleeping facility tier 2 or higher, and as long as you have power, you'll get a plus 10 morale, and on top of that, your community members will get better sleep. They won't be complaining about the holes in the walls or the zombies, and it definitely makes surviving at night more peaceful. I came across like 3 or 4 of these just looting, so check your supply locker, you might have some in there. And I was going to say the camp heater is a great alternative if you can't get your hands on it, but instead try to find the comfy chair. I really love this. There's no upkeep cost. It gives you a plus 3 morale boost, and you can pretty much install it anywhere, from like a workshop to a sleeping facility, infirmary, etc. And I just love the look of the chair in general. Moving on, we have the Sanitizing Machine. With this mod installed at an infirmary, as long as you have power, you'll get a plus 50% infection recovery. Keep in mind though, it won't cure full-blown blood plague. It's strictly for the infection that builds up, and I really don't have to explain how important this is. We all know how much of a threat plague is, especially in Dread and Nightmare Zone, so. But to be honest with you, lately I've been rocking the cast making kit kit mod. Since I only keep around 3 to 4 members, I have to make sure they're in good condition at all times, and with the cast making kit, this provides minor passive injury recovery for inactive characters. So what I would do is, once I'm done with my daily goals, I'll bring that character back, then I'll go to my infirmary and use the infection therapy to eliminate partial infection, and from here I'll switch to a different character and let the previous one fully heal. But if you're someone in Nightmare Zone with like 10 plus community members, then I can see why you would want to keep the Sanitizer Machine installed at all times just to keep that plague infection under control. So those are my recommendations. And lastly, we have the Expresso Machine. Pretty self-explanatory. You install this into a kitchen, and from here you'll have the option to craft shots of espresso. If you don't know what this does, it postpones fatigue, and that can be very important, especially when you're completing a prolonged task or something. So definitely a necessity. And to be honest with you, I really think this mod is underrated. A lot of you guys will see this and go, oh, that's cool, but just throw it in your supply locker or something. And to be honest with you, I really don't use a kitchen that much unless I'm crafting some energy drinks or snacks. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of the kitchen mods. A lot of them were, increasing food storage and stuff like that, or, boosting your morale with a little bit of food, and I'm not really a big fan of those. And with that being said and showcased, these are my personal favorite mods. Obviously, I have many more, but if someone told me I can only bring a backpack full of mods for my next playthrough, these are the ones I'm choosing. If you can only pick 4 mods for your next playthrough, what would they be? Let me know below. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. Be sure to drop a like. I haven't forgot about the top 10 best weapons. That video is coming. I might postpone it for a little bit because we might actually be getting another weapon pack in December, so just give me a little bit of time and that video will be up soon. Be sure to drop a like, also subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video, follow me on Twitter, and let me know what do you think about my list below. I'll be seeing you guys real soon with some more State of Decay 2 content. Peace.